And we're live.
Hello, Roger.
Hi,
Live.
everybody.
Yeah, you know, it's the thing you do when you're not dead.
Sounds fake, but okay.
Yeah. Joke's on you, Stoker's undead.
Yeah, joke's on you. I'm always dead.
That's my secret cap.
Yeah, I'm just dead tired. Okay.
Joke's on you, I got 9 lives.
It's funny because I'm exhausted.
Just, I don't know. I guess you must just be an early bird, aren't you?
Me?
Yeah, because it's like, it's not even 8 o'clock for you right now. How are you?
No,
how
I'm
are you
just
tired?
middle-aged, Miller.
I was just going to say, no, he's just old.
Well, that and like
Co-op is on.
Okay.
All right, there we go.
Oh, yeah, what are we doing tonight? I actually have no idea.
You played PowerWash, right, Stoker?
I don't think he's gotten PowerWash.
I don't think
No,
he
I
has.
don't have PowerWash.
Oh, you're.
Oh, I didn't know we were doing PowerWash.
Well, I mean, do you want to jump in?
That's one thing that we might be doing. I don't know. We might do something else too. I don't know.
Here, Stoker, if you want to wash.
Do I want wash? Do I want wash? Do I want wash to wash?
Let's go for wash and
I can
bath.
screen share if you want to wash, or you can just watch Rick's screen, I guess. He's going.
Yeah, I'll just like keep an eye on it off and on through the Twitch streams. The Vidge games.
The video games. You've heard of this game, right? You know what it is.
Yes, I've heard of it. Like,
Okay.
I've been here before when you played it. I just didn't know that's what we were doing tonight.
Okay.
I didn't know what we were doing. Hey, Jonas. Hey, Jonas.
Yes.
You know that hole? The one you use for eating pie?
Yes.
Shut it!
Don't say the thing. Don't say the thing.
Boxer says, "What did you think Rick was doing tonight, Stoker?" I don't think Stoker thinks about it. I don't think Stoker thinks.
I just exist, y'all. I'm just living my best life. I do not appreciate these vicious attacks on my character.
Stoker is rigidly in his lane, and if you try to merge into it, he will destroy you.
It's true. I'll go straight up feral on you.
You are the bat.
He has killed before, and he will do it again.
Without remorse. No, actually, I need to say that in like a more of a Max style voice. It needs to be more like without remorse. No, that's not Max at all.
That was sort of Bentley.
I was doing Bentley earlier.
He's pretty murderous too.
Bentley again. No, that's not Max either. No, that's still not Max.
Why is the dirt taking so long?
Rick has a lot of dirt. Who knew?
Like, it's just stuck at like 200 kilobytes of dirt.
Yeah, there's something weird with this game where, it even says this might take several minutes. I don't know why it would ever take several minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why
Connection
it takes
timed out.
time. It
I
doesn't
am
take any time. It barely takes any time at all for me.
Let me try again.
I am a Unity engineer, and I have no idea how they did this because I can load up 2 megabytes in like half a second.
Oh, wait,
Had to
no.
do
I'll
that.
right back. Oh, connection time down. Never mind. Let me try it
Yeah,
again.
same here. I'm trying again. Connecting.
It really shouldn't be any different for you than it is for me loading up the same level.
You are absolutely correct.
Yes,
Usually it's not
Correct.
this long for me.
unless again, the only thing I can think of is they have some very, very, very wonky networking thing where in order to send data, they're sending like 1 byte at a time or something.
I don't know much about it, but I do have a theory. Every time we finish a game, they have like a pre-recorded session where they show you what you did. I think they're trying to upload that while you're uploading the map on the player's game.
Time
Yeah,
out
that's
again.
part of it.
Let me try one more time.
Okay, let me try something else. Let me.
Okay.
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 Yeah. Menu.
Let me disconnect the soundboard so I'm not tempted to use it.
Yes, Jonas.
Those wild and dangerous temptations.
Resist the temptation, Jonas.
Well, I'm going to be using it on Saturday, no question.
Very
I'm
curious
getting
what
again.
things you have on there. I don't want you to show anything off now. I want to keep it a surprise for Saturday, but
I
I'm
like-
very curious.
You said that just as I was reaching for it.
Okay. Special.
Thing.
I've got some great stuff, although I'm...
Okay, it's up again.
Okay.
I'm not going to touch anything. Somebody else get on.
Okay.
All
Joining.
right, joining Reed House Pets. Okay, connecting. Downloading Rick's Downloading
Dirt.
Dirt. Now it's going. Must have been something clogging the pipes. The internet pipes.
Oh, is that
Plugging the
what's going
pipes.
on? Is that it's like every time you download something because the other player's playing, it like tries to start over?
I'm wondering if that's the case.
That's very silly.
All right. Almost got all the dirt.
Okay, I think I got in. Let's see.
Okay.
Very close.
Don't do anything yet until Jonas is in.
Almost
Yes. I still as a totem.
there. And
Yes.
Totems known for their very characteristic movements.
there we go.
There's
Loading
Jonas.
level. Loading dirt. Continue. I'm in.
I'm in.
I can't hear anything.
Nothing's happening. So
Oh.
I'm still.
Oh, I
Wow.
just started playing in my own world.
Did we do the... Wait a
Okay.
minute. Where's the dirt?
It's on top of the fountain.
most
Oh,
of it's on
shit.
top of the fountain, yeah.
Oh, okay. Who's got the ladder?
Ladder's over here.
Ah, okay.
This also calls for
God, I love
the
these
extender.
motions. All right, let's get up there. Hang on. Oh, F. F to pick it up. F to pick it up.
Oh, F.
There's Fed.
That sounds like
No.
something that Baby Jonas would say.
Oh, F.
I was thinking of
There we
freaking
go.
Night in the Woods and how often they say F.
Hang on, let me
You can't swear in the woods, boys and girls.
It's
try and
true.
stop me.
If you
Okay,
can
check.
disassociate in the woods, you should be allowed to swear in the woods.
Sorry,
This is
it's
double
illegal to
standard.
swear inside the woods.
Damn.
Look, if you swear in the woods, the witch is gonna get you, and probably even Jason.
Is that how that works?
They just know it's they know that they found fresh blood when you swear.
Teddy Roosevelt gave us the national forestry system, but his controversial rule of not allowing swears inside any national parks was always met with some derision.
Did he actually make a rule like that?
No, Jonas, come on.
He's doing
what?
a bit.
Oh, okay.
He's
I
doing
mean,
a
there's
bit.
some stupid laws out there. You know, like
It's
you can't.
true.
You know,
Like you
if
have to wear clothes in public.
You think
Such
you.
a pain.
No, I was thinking of ones like you can't eat ice cream in this one town in Illinois on Tuesday or whatever the hell. You know,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Do you know
Oh,
about
no
the
ice cream Tuesday?
Do you know about the is it the Idaho Yellowstone Corridor of Death? It
Oh
is a-
yeah, the no
It
man's
is
land.
a location in the U.S. where it is technically legal to commit any crime up to and including murder.
Right, because it's the jurisdiction issue.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
like
they
no
did,
jurisdiction over that particular area, and so you theoretically could do anything there because nobody could try you.
There's a podcast about it. No, not about that, but like a podcast that covered that weird fact. And it makes you like. I mean, God, I could. That's like a whole.
You're like,
Netflix-
I could visit and
No,
like
it's-
get away with anything.
Can you just imagine like a Netflix series about that? Like, you know, like The Corridor or some shit like that. And like it's just about like how somebody decides to start a bar in there or something.
Oh, I could so easily imagine this.
See, yeah, but would it be like a murder mystery, like a Agatha Christie sort of thing? Like, okay, somebody died, but which of the people who were in the corridor did it? Would it be like a legal drama? Like they're actually trying to work out who would have jurisdiction?
No, it'd be like one of those mafia dramas. I mean,
Yeah.
they deliberately set up in there so that they can get away with everything. So they have to make sure
okay.
that,
And they make all
things
the protagonists
stay
like,
the way that they are. So that they can
Like
do
Neat
whatever they want.
organized crime.
and they make everyone just lovable enough that you want to root for them, even though you know they're doing utterly horrible things in the woods.
Mhm.
Just like me.
God, funded. It could actually work.
It could, couldn't it?
I'm just starting to think about it now. Hey, what have we done?
Okay.
Going around trying to clean up everything, any bits of everything that isn't fully cleaned yet.
Here, let me jump up there. Hang on. Don't spritz me, bro. Let's see.
And it says, "Oh, fun! Power washing with friends. Have you done the mini golf course yet?"
Have we?
The golf course?
No, it's the one of the new ones. The new ones are the fountain that you're doing now, a train in a desert, and a mini golf course.
Oh, I reckon we do that one next.
Ah. Hang on, just let me get out of your way.
Okay.
Can I possibly... Do I have to use a 0? Can I use a 15? Yes, I can.
Squid Game IRL there? No, I think Squid Game expended everybody's patience for death games. You have to wait a couple of years before you could do something like that again.
You underestimate how much people love death games.
I do, because I believe they hate them for the most part.
What do you mean by death games?
Games where death is dead.
I mean,
So,
Which
Squid
train?
Game is one. Another one would be like most of the Saw movies,
Oh,
that kind
okay.
of thing.
I was thinking wizardry.
I was thinking the Hunger Games.
Hunger Games. Yeah, but Hunger Games is more just like YA novel stuff.
It's weird because, like,
But I mean, it centers around the death game.
Yeah, well, centers around, but it's not about the death in the games, whereas like Squid Game and the Saw movies are about the death and the game.
when you said Squid Game, I thought for a second you were talking about like Splatoon. I'm like, what?
No,
Yeah.
the show is Squid Game, the Korean dark near
Netflix.
sci-fi. Yeah, that thing.
God.
Nope, he's definitely talking about Platoon.
It's definitely talking about Splatoon.
I've
Bong Joon-ho
I've
had
seen-
nothing to do with Squid Game, did he?
Wait, who had nothing to do with Squid Game?
Bong Joon-ho?
Who's that?
I don't know.
He's the guy who made Parasite, Snowpiercer.
I don't think he was
Wait,
involved in Squid
he
Game,
made
but don't quote me
Snowpiercer?
on that.
Yes.
Huh. Okay.
Excellent movie if you've never seen it.
I didn't know. Okay, I didn't know.
But if you
If you
have,
have seen it,
is
it's
still an
terrible.
excellent
Yes.
Hey, what movie again?
Snowpiercer.
Snowpiercer.
No,
Snowpiercer.
never seen it.
No, wait. Doesn't that have Chris Evans in it?
You've got Chris Evans in it.
Yes.
Okay.
It has one of those Hollywood guys as the forefront star because it was a Hollywood funded movie, but like the rest of the cast is like more interesting actors. a lot of Korean actors, of course, but then also there's like what's her name?
Oh,
It's not Tina Fey.
Tina
Hold on.
Fey's in Snowpiercer. I'm like,
No.
You just said it's
on.
not Tina Fey.
I'm just like,
No, not the TV series.
hold on, let me put myself on autopilot and I'll look it up because like
Tilda Swinton, that's what I'm thinking of.
no, this way. Oh, okay.
She's a very different person from Tina Fey.
Tilda Swinton on 30 Rock.
Tilda Swinton. Which, I mean, Tilda Swinton is like great in everything she does, no matter how weird of a role she does.
Oh,
Wow, it's got-
absolutely. In fact, the weirder the better in my book.
It's
Yeah.
also got John
Oh,
Hurt. and Ed
I'm sure
Harris.
you of all people, Stoker, appreciate her role in was it Phasmagoria?
Shoot. What was that?
Wait,
Or what's
Tilda
the one where
Swinton
it's
was
the
in-
witches in Berlin?
Oh, Shit, damn.
And Tilda Swinton plays like the old grandfather figure, which is just weird.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, she's played. She jumps around in her gender roles in
That's
these
true.
movies.
Or she was the angel Gabriel in Constantine.
Oh yeah, she was, huh?
Pull it
Phantasm.
off, didn't
No, not Phantasmagoria. No, this was a movie. There was a recent remake. It's about witches in Berlin.
Oh wait, are you talking about The Witches?
No,
that what
hold
it's called?
on.
I would Google it, but I'm sort of cleaning stuff.
Suspiria.
Oh,
was in
Suspiria! I forgot she was in the remake of
You mean
Suspiria.
the remake? I'm
Also, like Suspiria was originally in Italy, which is what threw me off so much. The original
Ah, okay.
Suspiria.
Dario
Yeah, no,
Argento.
the remake literally takes place with the Berlin Wall outside their front doorstep.
Yeah, I still haven't actually seen the remake of Suspiria.
How'd it get there?
I need to get on that. Jonas, what did you just say something? Did you
Miller
say
said it starts with the Berlin Wall right outside their doorstep, and I was like, "How'd it get there?" Oh,
Because they're in Berlin.
nuh-uh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very surprised you have not seen the remake of Suspiria, Stoker. It feels like 110% your movie.
Oh, very much it would be my kind of thing. It is a little bit unusual that I haven't seen it, but I have seen the original, so there's that.
I gotta start watching horror movies again. I miss horror movies. Don't try to get me this.
Good.
My brother was trying to get me back into Saw. I watched the first one.
Is that your sort of thing, GC? As far as horror movies, like Saw movies?
It's more. I'm more of a classic kind of person. I watched like Freddy, Jason, and Michael Myers. Although the funny thing is, though, I was there were three people in the family, and and I didn't realize this when growing up, but it turns out each side of the family watched a different version of a slasher film, and I laughed at that. My family watched Jason. My next door neighbors watched Freddy, and it turns out the ones way down the road watched Michael Myers. And I put the connection here. I was like, wait a minute. Why don't we just watch them all?
Well, no, you guys
We
did
all
the
just
smart
go
thing
along.
is each of you buys one series of movies, and then you could just keep trading DVDs or VHSs back and forth.
Exactly. But at the time, we didn't even know these movies existed. It was funny. But we started watching them when we were visiting each other, and we saw something very in common. Jason in the Woods, Freddy's in Your Dreams, Michael Myers is, Halloween. And they're all basically the same thing. And we're like, watch them together. And it's like, oh, that's that. Then we just started buying them after that. It's hilarious.
Fed says he is having connection issues.
Yeah.
He's-
As long as you guys keep playing, it's gonna keep not being able to connect.
Yeah,
so.
we'll try again when we start the next one.
But horror games have been
You
getting
guys are pretty
good lately.
close, right? You ended last night at like 99% or
Well,
something.
94%. We're at 99% now.
Yeah.
It's gonna take
And we,
hours.
Okay.
it shouldn't. It
Just
shouldn't.
use the soap gun. It's very good at getting those little spots because it just goes everywhere.
Let me see if my cleaner refilled. No, it didn't. Okay, fine. Should use some of
Okay,
that
so-
cash and buy some more. Hang on. Can I do that on the fly? Like, can I do it?
I don't
Should
think
be
you can
able
do that in these special missions.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the idea is you're supposed to be given a certain set of equipment and soaps, and you have to like work around that
Out of
sort of
stock?
limitation.
How the hell is it out of stock? Okay, fine.
Sorry, Jonas, we bought it out the store from you. Sorry.
Well, I'm gonna, or at the very least, I'm gonna get some stone and multi-purpose because I mean, you know,
Oh,
Cheers.
whatevs.
Cheers.
I don't see anything on the upper basin bowl.
I'm seeing little bits on some of the knobby jiggies. Very
Oh yeah,
articulate.
those.
On the Hooja Woojas?
Yes, on the hooch.
On the Doomaflambins.
it does say there's something on the lower basin bowl. It does so. Unless there's a clone underneath too. No? Okay. So it's on top of there somewhere.
Sterling says, I'm not really big into horror. I normally play them with riff tracks. Same. I've not watched any of these movies I'm talking about. I've watched reviews of them. Well, except for Snowpiercer. I watched Snowpiercer. I just like that movie. But I've never watched Suspiria or the remake. I've only seen reviews of them.
Well, you know what I've watched?
Everything.
Just about.
Stoker is a horror movie buff confirmed.
You don't say. I would have never guessed.
Once again, I'll be back.
What?
It might be on the outside of the edge, Rick. Like the outer lower lip.
Ah.
Shit. The edge.
All right, I'm back.
Welcome back. You were missed.
Oh God, there's a little bit in the lower rim thing. It's the lower basin base.
Oh yeah, the basin base.
I put a hockey mask on just to honor this occasion.
That's kind of funny. They need to make one more Friday the 13th movie, at least one more, because right now, if you count Freddy vs. Jason and Jason X, which you should, because both of them are technically Friday the 13th movies.
Yeah.
There are only 12 Friday the 13th movies, and that's just wrong.
No, they're never going to make another one.
Listen, the thing is, there's endless litigation going on.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, so a gross is a dozen dozens. Is there a thing for a 1313s? Is that like a baker's gross?
That's known as a gross.
Yes, it's a grues. Jonas got it. It's very gruesome.
I'm still sad they never got to make that Ash versus Jason versus Freddy movie that I heard so much about.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Ah, there we go.
They turned that into a comic book.
They did?
Yes.
It's true.
It was good, too.
And didn't, Ash get involved or something?
That's what he was just talking about.
Right. Oh, yeah, you said that.
Really? Which Pokemon did he take with him?
He took Snizzard.
Did Pikachu lightning bolt Jason to revive him?
Nope.
I mean, that's not far off from how Jason came back from the dead in like the fifth one. But no,
That's the joke.
Sixth one.
Was it they literally just like stuck a weather vane in his body and then waited for a lightning bolt to hit?
Well, it wasn't intentional.
Like
it wasn't intentional. Okay. So okay, let me explain.
They just accidentally jammed a weather vane into him.
I mean, kind of. Okay, listen. This particular part of the saga starts with a kid named Tommy Jarvis, who looked a lot like Corey Feldman.
Okay, so Corey Feldman, and
so he was traumatized by Jason as a little Feldman, and
Out chapter.
yeah, the final chapter, which was the fourth one of the 12 movies I've just mentioned. That was the final chapter.
The final one was the fourth chapter of the 12. Get it going.
Anyway, he was traumatized by Jason because reasons, and
keep talking. I'm trying to find where there's the last fucking patch.
He was one of the survivors of one of Jason's rampages, and in the fifth movie, he's all grown up and is experiencing, mental health problems because of Jason shit. And the fifth movie ends implying that he's going to become the new Jason.
Yes.
But nobody actually liked that.
Yeah.
Because they're like, we want Jason to be Jason.
Yes.
We want more Voorhees.
And if I remember correctly, the TV series was basically supposed to keep going with that idea too, where everybody else pretty much wants to copy Jason.
Fine.
They want to go the copycat direction. That's what they were going to do at that point.
Everybody wants to be Jason.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said it like Snagglepuss, but this is the world we live in.
Go with it.
And hilariously, the video game even hints that nobody's gonna believe Tommy Jarvis because he thinks he's a copycat. But they also hinted that Freddy and who was the guy from the Hatchet again? I'm trying to remember. He was going to be in
Hatchet?
that. That's the other one that Kane Hodder was.
But Hatchet hadn't been made yet at that time.
But they are now
let's try to
trying
get Frederick in now. Frederick,
Oh,
get
yeah,
in.
okay, hold on. Oh.
But it seems like
he was
that's fine.
with me shortly. I don't know
Okay.
if he got into my world. I think he also had connection issues, but I also haven't stopped for him. So
So they were saying no, but the
Frederick
time that
seems to be inside.
He
Here.
said...
there you go.
Okay, yeah.
there's
Hey,
that,
you want me to try to join you then?
Yes.
Okay.
we got
Bad.
a
Very, very
castle.
quickly before Frederick does anything.
Hold on. Go.
I want to see like a Friday the 13th musical where Jason has a solo and he just gestures a lot.
There was
I've
that
shown
one
you
time
that
it was
one
like,
Worthy Kids animation, right? Haven't I, Jonas?
I
After
think
we start
you're
the game
out
to
here.
do this, it will not let me just leave the game and go back to the main menu
Weird.
because all the game is, all of the menu stuff is inside a level.
I'll still never forget the time where they had him on a talk show and he just says nothing, but he makes all those mean gestures.
All right, hold on. I'm trying to get in.
Okay. Said you weren't, but now you are.
I said I had to restart the game to try it.
I don't know why you would, because, I mean, yes, the menu is inside the
literally-
level, but you can just go over to the game mode.
Game's just
Anyway.
being sloppy.
All right.
It would be a lot simpler if they just had a main menu and say, okay, I want to go back to the main menu.
Yeah.
Can't go
Yeah,
back,
but
Rick.
no, the main menu has to be weirdly diegetic.
You can't go home again.
You can't watch that fuck again.
You can't watch that what again?
Water park again.
Okay, all right.
I caught there, sorry.
It's all right. I was just very confused by what you said for a moment there.
I think it's in Wild Park there, I don't know.
Yes, Jonas?
GC Clue said you can't...
Oh, of
Huh?
course. How silly of me.
I can't drink. You guys continue on without me. Woes
Oh,
who
Miller.
have been abandoned and left aside.
No, you're the bird!
Oh.
Well, we'll have to pick up his nest and walk away with it now.
Okay,
Watch it some other time.
cool.
Oh, wow.
Oh, here's Miller's computer. Okay.
Wait,
So, anybody see any good movies lately?
I saw the bad guys.
Yes.
Oh, I haven't seen
Okay.
The Bad Guys.
Oh yes,
How
Rick
is
said
it?
that dude.
It's quite good.
It is.
It's not bad.
A little bit of Zootopia, a little bit of Spider-Verse, a little bit of like Akira Toriyama.
Okay, you got my ears are burning there.
No,
quite
it's really
It
painful.
good.
does weirdly have some Akira Toriyama sensibilities to it.
Yeah. No, quite enjoyable. It hit all the beats, but it did so in a way that wasn't dumb. You know, like it didn't try and talk down the audience. It treated the audience with intelligence and respect, and that was a big plus for me. Because there are definitely,
Love that.
there are definitely movies where like they hit the beats and they're like, okay, you're supposed to feel you're supposed to feel this now, and it's just like, don't hold my hand, god damn it.
You don't have to hold back, Jonas. You can tell us you're talking about the new Rescue Rangers movie.
Yes, I can tell.
I'm not gonna.
Because I also watched that yesterday.
Okay, look, all I'm
Do
gonna
it, say
say.
nothing.
All I'm going to say is that if people want to enjoy it, more power to them. I know it means a
Yeah,
lot.
Now, what are your real opinions?
No. No, I'm going to let them have this. I'm not going to be the bitter old
I'm
Gen
not.
Xer. I will not be comic book guy. I promise. I
I'm
swore
not
an
going to let
oath.
them have it. I got at least another 50 years of movies ahead of me that I'm going to have to watch. They better be goddamn good.
No,
I pretty much
I
retired
think the
from
best
movies.
part of the bad guys is the chemistry between all the characters.
yeah. I
They're
mean,
That's what I
just
heard, too.
absolutely everybody is adorable. Really.
yeah. Yeah,
Sharks?
It's all I could ask for.
the bad guy characters, they're not just a bunch of like guys on a heist. They're a family, and that's
Can't
what
wait
you feel.
I can't wait to look forward to Let's Imagine a Bad Guys in 2026.
But no, but like, and Sam Rockwell is great
human.
because he really sounds like an everyman, but if that everyman was like horribly sleazy, that's what he sounds like, and it just works, you know. Like it really just everything clicks, and the art direction is fantastic, and like I've noticed that I'm a lot pickier about animated movies these days. Like the last one I really liked was Turning Red, and it's good to see that CGI is coming into its own and not like trying to like be what, you know, Disney used to be. You know what I mean? Now that doesn't mean that like, well, anyway.
Yeah, I would say the bad guys, and then what was it, Mitchell's versus Machines
Yeah.
are
There's a
like
new
big signs of like, hey, here's how you do like CGI cartoony stuff.
Yeah,
Well,
well,
and you like make it its own strong style.
Yeah, it's one way. I mean, it's like you don't have to do it that way to make it work, but it is something to take note of. You know, there are new methods of storytelling, and to me, it's clearly a sign that like, you know, you can tell which ones are like the victims of executive meddling. I mean, I still feel like there's a lot of that happening at Disney. And Turning Red was kind of like this happy fluke. I still haven't seen Encanto, but
I wouldn't even say it was a happy fluke. It was them literally taking a bet on the director.
Yeah,
because she made that bow bun short, and they're just like, "Here's a blank check. Make us a movie."
Well, I mean, when that happens, it's it's a confluence of like, I mean, that doesn't always happen.
It's kind of weird because I thought the Bow Button short had like, you know, something resembling mixed reception.
Was it?
Really? But it was like very well received.
Don't ask me, I just work here. It's funny because I saw 2 movies yesterday, okay? I actually went out to the theater to see one, and I stayed home and watched the other. And yesterday was really an exercise in going from the sublime to the bullshit. Because the movie I saw at home was the frickin' Chippendales movie, Rescue Rangers movie on Disney Plus, and the movie I saw at the theater was Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Wow, that's
Which was that was an experience. That's more than a movie. That's an experience.
I still need to see that one. Stucker told me it
really
has
do.
energy.
There's so many elements of that movie that made me think of you. Seriously, like at least 3 or 4 different times in that theater, I was like, "Oh my god, this is such a Jonas thing."
Jonas made the movie? Okay. I'm going to see it.
I'm pleased that I have a brand.
I mean, you listen. Once you see it, you'll understand. Once you see it, you will. How much do you know about it, anyway?
I know it's like a multiverse movie, and it's
very much a multiverse movie.
And it's kind of like, it's one of those movies where it's silly, but there's also pathos.
Yeah, it's
tucked in.
To me, it sounds like it's silly bullshit in the best way.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. It's one of those movies where it's silly bullshit, but somehow the silly bullshit comes back around again to become poignant.
Yeah,
it's almost Undertale-ish in that regard.
Have you ever seen?
Okay.
Have you ever?
I was trying to remember which one it was because I keep thinking it's the Bo Burnham song.
Oh no! Yeah, I thought that too for a bit. It's funny because I also didn't know this was an A24 movie, which is kind of funny because I associate them with
horror,
like stuff like The Witch
stuff.
And Hereditary and such.
Yeah.
Really? Because the one I associate them with the most is Has Been, because they still have that and they haven't released it yet.
That's now. You know, I mean, I was aware of them prior to that.
Yeah, we knew them before they were cool.
Yeah.
Well,
I still remember being extremely shocked by finding out they were the ones that got Has Been.
It is weird. I mean, it's weird, although in another way it makes sense. You know, like it does feel like
it makes sense in a weird kind of way.
Well, I mean, it feels like they're taking a chance on it. You know, like it's not exactly their usual thing, but I could, we'll see. Mm-hmm. We'll see how it goes. But I was gonna ask, Have any of you seen Being John Malkovich?
Malkovich.
I can't. I'm pretty sure I did, but I haven't seen it in a while. I can't think about it right now. I can't.
So it
Never.
came out over 20 years ago, starring John Cusack and Cameron Diaz and John Malkovich, obviously. It was made by. It was like a big budget indie. I don't know how else to put it. It was a very weird experimental idea. It's about a guy, a puppeteer played by John Cusack, who finds a portal into John Malkovich's brain. And I'm trying not to give away too much, but like
Shenanigans ensue.
well, yeah, it gets very strange, and it's like Stoker was describing, like it's bizarre, and then it wraps around to poignancy again, because well, I mean, again, I won't spoil it, but like it's worth checking out. And I found that I really enjoy movies like that. There was one called Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Oh no, that's a pretty well known one.
Yeah. It's about Jim Carrey's. This was again about 20 years ago. Jim Carrey's character Joel Barish is trying to forget the relationship he had with Kate Winslet's character Clementine, and he goes to this clinic where apparently you can get targeted amnesia. So it's about most of the movie takes place in his head, and it's about him slowly forgetting her during the procedure, and it's goofy and weird, and then it's like in the middle of that, it's like, okay, this is actually kind of sad.
Is that the one where he ends up falling in love with her again?
Well, spoiler alert.
I mean, that's kind of obvious. That's where it ends up.
Yeah.
I mean, that was in
there's only
theaters
so
when
many
I
ways
was
that could've
working in a
gone.
theater. And I was like, "Oh, I know how this ends." That was absolutely correct.
Yeah.
There really are only so many ways a story like that can go.
The original ending had them had them getting old and doing the procedure over and over again until they were much older, and the studio thought it was kind of a downer.
Did you? That kind of almost vaguely reminds me. There's a video game, an RPG Maker game. It's on Steam called To the Moon, which has.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Miller knows what I'm talking about.
I don't too.
There's a certain similar energy to that one.
Maybe I should play To the Moon on the stream.
Yeah, there you go.
Do it.
Yes, definitely.
See, actually.
But yeah, I love that movie.
I think there was like a remake of that at some
There
point.
was.
Okay.
Wasn't.
I still can't get over that I did both of those in the same day. That is a real whiplash of an experience.
Yeah. If you're going to do a double header, it has to be something, like in the same
Something with
genre.
two heads.
Like the same ballpark, thank you. Like two horror movies, or I don't know. Like Die Hard.
Two sandwiches.
Yeah, thank you. Your sandwich.
I mean, at the best points of my life, I've been. Anyway, I've been part of one before, but
All right.
Don't make me bop you as well.
Anyway,
Even though now you're just making me jealous.
I mean, I've talked about this before, but like, Stoker's able to like flawlessly charm people, and like I will never like I've had him like explain it to me, like, and I'm just like, nope, can't do that. That's never gonna happen.
Look, Jonas, you just have to charm the pants off them. It's not that hard.
He can say shit, like flirty shit, and make it sound fun. And if I say it, it sounds creepy.
Shoot, I accidentally turned my monitor off.
See, there he goes.
What?
What? That's flirty.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
I'm just being
well,
facetious.
now my pants are on the floor. Whoops. How'd that happen?
Where did my maple leaf go?
Where did your what now?
Maple Leaf go?
Oh, that's
your-
right. All
your
Canadians
fig
are
leaf.
issued one.
It's a real leaf, Miller. Mm.
I said fig, not fake.
Oh,
You see, all Canadians are only issued one maple leaf. If you lose it, you're on your own.
yeah.
Sorry there, mate. You got no more for you, eh?
I gotta go get the rake. I'll be back. I gotta go find my new collie now.
Look, we'll be able to issue you a new leaf there, eh? Okay, but first you gotta donate 100 gallons of raw syrup to the National Repository.
I gotta put the mount cap on, do my civic duty, and make sure the animals are safe.
Yes.
Okay, there, you do that then. You'll do that and make sure you got them Mises all safe.
Mises to pieces.
Take off, eh?
Take off, yay!
What the hell were we talking about?
Movies.
We were talking
Oh,
about
yeah,
indie movies, and then I was complaining about how like you can flirt better than I can.
Oh yeah,
complaining about how,
You were complaining about my slutty life.
No, I'll still gonna be like, hey, you know what happened this weekend? I got like quadruple laid.
Jonas, you make it sound like I'm a total schmaboogan.
You are. You know you are. Don't deny it.
Okay, fine. I won't deny my schmabooganhood.
And I'm like, how'd you do that, Stokey? He's like, oh, I just batted my eyelash. Just bink, bink, bink. You know?
I made the sound effects and everything. That's very important. That's
And
one
I'm
of your
like, no.
problems, Jonas. You're not making the sound effects.
And I'm like, no, really? He's like, be more sensitive. I'm like, anyway. I'm exaggerating slightly for effect.
Only slightly.
Cracking up here.
Don't be cracking up. This isn't here.
Yeah.
You can't be cracking no nuts.
Why? Nuts are all we're talking about.
Speak for yourself.
Okay, let me spec you like I'm 25, you maniac. So much grime. Hang on, I need some music.
Jonas needs some cleaning music.
Yeah. Well, this grime, it's so annoying that Jonas had one of his Stucker had one of his after parties and he wouldn't clean it himself.
Alright, here we go.
Y'all are just making it worse than I ever did.
So you admit that you're gonna have
We're
a
bringing it into the
wolf.
realm of ridiculousness, alright? That brings it around and makes it funny again.
Exactly.
It's true.
Halfway there.
Living on a prayer.
They're being so lurid.
So lurid.
Now making the
Don't
missions
say.
too complicated. Okay, I don't know how to come up with that one.
I don't either.
I just work here.
Hey, see?
Don't, though. That's the problem.
Stop working here, Stoker.
Wait, unless you do. Are you getting a cut of the Twitch checks? I'm not.
Listen, that's between me and Rick.
God damn it!
Yeah, see.
You know, in a way, thank you. This game is basically like watching a progress bar. I mean, you're moving your mouse a bit, but like, essentially, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's sort of like the rock.
There's
garden,
not
you
really
know?
any too many complications to what you're doing here, so it's just
Yeah.
slowly pushing through the single
Like-
thing that you're doing.
Yeah, there's no
Basically-
like, there's
It's basically like Ignition Factor, but you're watering down the dirt rather than the fire,
See,
and the
it's
fire
like-
spreads.
there's not even a timer. You know, it's just I think that's interesting.
Well, I believe that it gives the game its most important quality, which is that it's meditative.
Yeah, I suppose.
It's perfect to listen to audiobooks too.
Or chat about absolute bullshit with your friends, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh, I wonder what that's like.
To be fair, I appreciate this game for what it does. It's the exact opposite of what I believe for game design. I believe that risk and reward are very important parts of it. But this game does not have a failure condition. You cannot lose at PowerWash Simulator.
The only thing you can lose is time and money. Okay.
If it did have a competitive element, would it be a first-person squirter?
Don't
Yeah.
call it that.
I was gonna say, don't listen.
Oh, is this like
Is this
moist?
a bridge too far?
Oh, no, because Squirt could be a little kid with a pistol for all we know, going around squirting everything.
Don't
Nice.
don't squirt around little kids.
First person
Look, that little Squirt did it first.
sprayer. First person.
I'm canceling all of you.
Okay, now Jarvis is just making it worse.
All right.
Yay, I'm free! I've been canceled. I don't have to look at social media anymore.
So liberating.
Exile can be very comforting.
We banished Miller to Shadow Realm.
You know what this game needs? A jetpack.
Water
And
jetpack.
and a flamethrower.
A spray thrower.
Why use water when you can just cleanse it with fire?
That should be your next simulator, Jonas. Just Power Fire Simulator.
My God. See, now you say that, and now I'm imagining where you're actually a firefighter doing pre-burns on a forest so the inferno doesn't spread.
Not gonna lie, I'd probably actually play that.
That game would
Then,
be
then
fire.
you have a ticking time clock. You have to burn down a certain section of woods and have it be turned to ashes before the big fire gets there.
Oh,
It's-
look at
it's-
you.
You
Then-
have to
then
make
you
sure that
actually
doesn't
have-
spread out of control yourself.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
You better
You have to
just
make
gotta,
sure that the fire breaks are all correct.
just got to make sure that you tell your folks too that this definitely invokes fire phobia.
Damn, why is this starting to sound like a compelling game idea?
Blame Beavis.
Can I be prideful and say
Blame
it's because I
Beavis.
came up with it?
You know what? Sure. Go ahead.
Ah, yeah. Stroke my ego more.
Is that what the kids are calling it these days?
Yes.
We're going to hell.
Back in my day, we called it the old Schmerbergen.
They never called it that.
No, I think they did.
Joker.
Joker, I think you might have been there during the creation of this thing. Do you know the etymology of the Schmerbergen?
Well, first, you take a smoogus,
Uh-huh.
and then you go haflugus.
I think you're making these words up.
A flugus. Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna take notes on this and put some articles up on Wikipedia. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Anytime, citizen.
Just doing your dirty.
Watch out for that Miller guy, professional Twitter people or Wikipedia people.
I've
Wikipedia.
never edited a Wikipedia page before.
And I ain't starting now.
I
I want the truth, Miller.
You can't handle the truth, GC.
No.
I attempted
I
to
put some
edit
comments on the
Wikipedia
talk
a little
page
bit
recommending-
back when it was
Oh.
new.
Sit here.
I caught a particularly amusing incident of Wikipedia vandalism and did not report it. For some
You're a
reason, I was
renegade.
looking up. For some reason, I was looking up the Mona Lisa. I don't remember why, and the picture that was supposed to be the Mona Lisa was Emperor Palpatine. And I was just like, you know what? I'm going to leave that to someone else.
You ever catch one where it's like it's some article no one would ever read about some esoteric intellectual topic, and then in the middle of there somewhere it's like, I like butts. And then you're just like, you know what, little 6th grade kid, you go. Live your best life.
You're assuming that's not a college kid.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Oh yeah, no, it's a college kid with the maturity of a 6th grade kid.
I remember somebody. I was just doing it randomly, but I was looking up One Piece on Wikipedia, and someone went downtown with Luffy on there, and I was like, "What the?" I'm trying to remember exactly what they wrote, but it was not pretty.
Yeah, I try to stay off Wikipedia unless I have something specific in mind, because, like, like if I start wandering around, I'll end up like, I go down to like a Wikipedia hole, and like, I'll end up like,
You mean read it all day?
well, like 45 minutes just like researching shit that is not even relevant to my life in any way and never will be. Usually about sea life or something, or like, the Cretaceous
I was
or
in
some
that weird
shit.
time where, when I was in like middle school, they said never use Wikipedia for anything. It's completely unsourced. Never use it at all. And then by the time I got to college, they're like, actually, it's fine. If it has secondary sources, you can use Wikipedia.
Well, they realize. Yeah, I mean, they surely they realize that there's no point in trying to discourage.
Well, I mean, they've also done like studies, and Wikipedia is technically more reliable than most print encyclopedias and the like.
I absolutely believe it, but
Yeah,
that's still vaguely depressing.
I mean, the thing is that even if there are people on there who have maliciously editorializing certain pet projects of theirs, that's still limited to a very, very tiny portion of Wikipedia. So,
Sure.
like, the vast majority of it is perfectly reliable, and more so than most places.
Yeah.
They were just mostly, but yes, that's the way I looked at it too.
If nothing else, it's more current.
And that's definitely one of the things that's better about Wikipedia, because who needs an encyclopedia anymore?
Yeah. When I was in
Encyclopedia
college,
Brown.
yeah.
No,
Encyclopedia Brown
encyclopedia?
probably doesn't even use an encyclopedia anymore. He should be called Wikipedia Brown now.
Oh no! No!
Yep, there we go. We found the name for the remake. Elastic in
God.
Contact.
Uh,
We'll write you some very base, very young kid mysteries. Call him Wikipedia Brown.
yeah. Now, when I was going to university,
Wikipedia Foundation keeps asking for more funding. I think we found out how.
Now, when I took classes where that kind of research was needed, they drilled it into our heads to do not to do internet research. This was before this was like early days of Google, and I don't know if Wikipedia existed yet, but yeah, they were like, you can't cite anything on the internet because it's uncitable, and
That's just a failure in their citation standards.
And now all these damn young kids, they better get off my lawn. All these Gen Z kids, they don't know how easy they got it. Nah.
How dare they have the entirety of humanity's knowledge within their fingertips?
Makes me sick.
Yeah. Why don't you just do it like the old days? We had to learn it all off of Carmen San Diego.
How dare they
Yeah.
be the smartest, wisest, and most
Exactly.
well-equipped generation ever?
We had to look it up in scrolls at the
How
library.
dare we
of
have
Alexandria.
evidence of the actual progress of of humanity? Should be absolutely cynical about everything. Nothing can ever get better at any point.
You were just born to go to school and go to work. There.
Oh, God.
School is work. Well, specifically, school is factory work.
Oh,
There are
God.
whistles that tell you when to go to lunch. There are whistles that tell you when to go to your station. You spend time at one station, then you move to the next, and you do some work there, and then you move to the next station, and you do some work there. Schools are designed to teach you how to work in a factory.
It's 100% true.
Good lord.
Kind of weird because schools were, instituted to reduce the cost of training for middle management.
Yeah. I need to get an extension going on with this thing. Let's see. There we go.
Ah,
Tweak.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I want to go see The Bad Guys. Maybe I'll see it sometime this coming week.
It's
I'll
so
probably see
cute.
it someday.
Streaming.
Huh?
I don't think it's streaming yet.
Not yet, but
Not
I mean,
legally.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we wouldn't do that.
You wouldn't download
LimeWire
a,
is
you
still
wouldn't,
as alive as it was 20 years ago.
you wouldn't download a Wolf Husband.
You know,
I did. It was called Elden Ring.
Wait, is there like a hot wolf in Elden Ring?
Yeah.
Oh,
His name is
Blade.
Blythe.
Oh, Blythe?
Blade.
Blade
Yeah,
or
it's
Yeah.
pronounced
Blythe?
Blythe.
Okay.
Hang on,
It's
hang
spelled
on, hang
it's
on.
spelled with two D's, but it's pronounced like a TH.
Stoker,
Wait, how do you spell this?
Blaidd.
Blade?
Yeah. Yes.
Blade, whatever.
Blade.
I pronounce it
Elden
Blade.
Ring.
I pronounce it Blade as well.
Oh, damn.
Hold on, I gotta
Why
see.
did nobody tell me about this
Could have
guy?
known by
Hold
now.
on.
They have art everywhere.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Wow.
Listen, I don't pay attention to things. What do you take me for? A person who pays attention to things?
Oh,
Yeah,
also
look,
Malekith.
Look,
Malekith
look.
is another character from the game that's a hot wolf boyfriend.
Okay, hold on. I'm going
Yeah,
E61.
look.
I need to see if.
Let's just- Stoker is just anti-George R.R. Martin. There. That's the excuse.
Blade.
Oh yeah, these characters came up with by George R.R. Martin, so now he's a furry.
You know,
I'm
None
always,
of us
I'm
were
always
surprised.
surprised if any fantasy or science fiction author isn't at least a little bit of a furry.
Oh God. You know. Oh
Look,
Lord.
the minute somebody draws even a piece of fur, you have to immediately call him a furry. Even I can't get away from that.
Have you
I'm
seen?
something
I
that-
mean,
torture.
even you can't get away from that. What are you implying? You're not?
I am up.
Have you ever seen that one? The footage of that one Stargate SG-1 fan panel.
Yes. Yes. I know the one.
If you haven't seen it,
No idea
Someone
what
that-
you're talking about, please.
someone Christopher Guest doesn't know what fursuits are all about, and someone explains it to him, like whispers it to him while he's sitting there on the panel. He's just like, "What?"
Yes, but bear in mind, of course, that they're explaining fursuits to him as a purely
Yeah.
sex thing.
They're not. It's and it's just
Like there's no nuance to this.
And then I think he said he followed up with something like, "Where can I get one?"
Yeah, he did say something like that. He's like, and I haven't tried this?
It was amazing.
Oh, hello, my baby child. Hello, tiny baby kitty child.
Hey Stoker, are you talking to your cat?
No, I'm just talking to one of my neighbors who wandered in.
Hey, tiny baby kitty cat neighbor.
Oh, and speaking of sexy furries, I think one of the things about the bad guys is that Wolf has like extreme bisexual energy.
Yeah.
Did you see the character designer on Twitter was just like making them sexy was like our number one goal.
Yeah. Well,
God, I'm so glad they finally figured it out.
he's sort of lanky and like he's kind of making eyes at like everybody constantly, including the viewer. At some
Like
point.
it's kind of like super apparent that he's both into Miss Foxington and also Snake.
Yeah. I mean, Snake was the boyfriend in all but name. I mean, I almost spoiled something. Go see
Sorry,
it.
here's folks.
You almost spoiled the
Cover your ears, Chef.
I'm about to say something so. You almost spoiled the infamous oral scene.
Wow.
I beg your pardon.
Look, I'm trying to convince some people in my family to watch, but hey, we'll see it.
It's pretty family friendly.
Yeah, I know it is.
I think
I'm
it
just
mostly
gonna-
would be PG, maybe. I don't know what the actual rating is, but I mean,
I think it's PG.
yeah.
Very
It
few
is-
things actually get the G rating anymore. It's almost unused.
To be fair, I don't
Yeah, 'cause
really.
I think G rating requires like no violence and like no emotional drama.
I mean, it kind of does now. I mean, the rating system, these things have drifted over the years. The G rating used to be like the de facto rating for animated movies, but now they kind of don't want to get a G rating because the G rating's for babies. And
The G rating used to be like the basic rating for everything. When it started out, it was just like G and R, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, PG was a thing pretty early on too. It's PG-13 that's the sexy new kid on the block. Relatively speaking.
Is PG-13 is the one where they get one F word?
Yeah, it is now. Like I said, the standards of these things have changed over the years because I mean, in freaking 1988, you could have a fuck bomb in a PG rated movie.
Yeah, but there were also like a couple PG rated movies that had like exposed breasts.
Yeah, like Clash of the Titans. And
Oh,
kinky.
Like you can't do that now, but all those were already rated PG, and they're still rated
Yeah,
PG for some reason because
They
they don't
very
re-rate
seldom.
things.
Yeah, they very seldom re-rate movies for whatever reason. It happens occasionally, but it's rare.
I'm assuming it's because if they started re-rating movies, they'd have to do all of them again. That'd be annoying and take too much money.
Yeah.
Can you imagine having to re-rate every movie that ever existed?
Not only that, but in this day and age, vulgar language really is commonplace. People have heard it. They really are making a big deal. They made a big deal over it back then because it was really not much you would see on television or at that time. But now it's.
I mean,
yeah. Now I'm just thinking at the beginning of Psycho, and this is a toilet.
yep, Psycho had a toilet in it. That was one of its big claims to fame. It was one of the first. It was the first American movie to feature an on-screen toilet, and Hitchcock even made it part of the plot, so they couldn't make him take it out.
Really?
Yeah, the toilet is an integral part of the plot of Psycho, and I'm not even kidding for anyone who's never seen it.
I see it, but I was like, huh?
They find an important clue in the toilet.
Oh yeah, that does happen. Okay.
Yep. So he's like, can't take it out.
Can't edit it out.
Now I'm wondering what the first instance was of seeing a character on the toilet in a movie. Probably 80s, which is really weird to think about.
I'm sure some
I mean, it-
really weird shock film in the 70s did something like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
my god, the 70s was king of weird shock movies.
Oh yeah.
God.
Oh, I'm reading about it right now. It was. Okay, that's funny.
Oh
Also,
yeah.
once
oh,
again,
yeah.
we're
And of
having
course,
a very...
no shock movie tops Pink Flamingos.
Oh, why'd you have to? Oh.
Listen,
It is
listen,
the worst of shock movies.
Listen.
no.
It is so trashy.
listen.
Oh,
Even
that's
I
actually
have
cool
some
looking.
limits.
My dad has that
This
fucking
dragon's
movie on
cool.
DVD.
It is.
Did you say your
disgusting.
dad has that movie?
My dad has he has a couple of John Waters movies.
I'm not
I don't know why
particular.
he likes them.
I don't know. John Waters is well. I'll say this: when it comes to the kind of audience that John Waters attracts, I'm not super surprised that your dad is among them. I've never met him, but I've heard enough stories.
He's
Yeah.
your father? Oh, it makes sense.
Well, okay. No. I get all of my normal from mom and all of my crazy from dad. That's just the way it is. Okay, he's got I shit you not piercings, tattoos, and like dyed hair. Okay, that's my dad. He's got a dragon tattoo on his chest. I'm not even kidding. That's my father.
Is it Spyro?
Yeah, it's a Spyro. No, that's like a Chinese dragon because he's Chinese. But like,
But
and
what if
people
it
are
was
like, "Your dad
Spyro?"
sounds so cool."
Yeah, see,
I'm like,
I was like, I had two images in my head because I didn't know what nationality your father was. I'm like, either he's like a 70-year-old Chinese guy with these descriptions, and that seems kind of cool, or he's a 70-year-old Jewish guy with these kind of descriptions, and that seems a little weird.
no, my mom is like a milquetoast English teacher. I'm not even kidding. And I say that lovingly. But yeah, no, my dad's bonkers.
Literally, from the cartoon, he's bonkers.
I probably told this story before, but there was one time during one of the early Further Confusions where I needed to get a ride back from the hotel, so I called Dad, and Dad. It took us a little while to find each other because there was like a bazillion fursuits everywhere, of course. And when I finally caught up with Dad in the restaurant, he was like, "There was a dragon over there, and it had a and I'm just like, Dad."
It had a what? I can't even make out what you're saying, Joe.
He was trying to say it had a penis, but like he couldn't get it out. And I was like, "Dad, can we just please leave, please now, please."
Oh, your dad sounds absolutely adorable.
You know, it's weird because it's Dad. You know, like that's if it was like someone else's dad, I'd be like, "Yeah, he's awesome." But when it's your dad, it's like, okay.
I think that's just one of the rules.
But yeah, every single crazy gene comes from him. I can tell you that easily. A grandmother was pretty nuts. Like my grandmother on his side was pretty nuts too.
I think you've told me a few stories about her.
Well, okay. In 1940s Chinatown, she was an exotic dancer. I know this because I've seen pictures of it.
Oh my!
Your family's kind of weird, Jonas.
Well, yeah, like I said, on Dad's side, they're all bonkers. On Mom's side, they're all just like they're all pretty benign.
On Dad's side, they're all bonkers. On Mom's side, they're all bankers.
See, basically, all of my family is like your mom's side. It sounds like,
Yeah.
except Christian instead of Jewish.
Yeah.
Most of my family plays it pretty straight. My father is a little weird. If you think of what you would imagine somebody that's in the Hells Angels looks like. Now remove the beard you added to them, and that's my father.
Nice. Crime. Oh, there's some. Yeah, no, it's. Let me tell you.
Please tell us.
When I went to Burning Man, it was with Dad and his friends.
Cracks me up.
Oh, there's
Like
some. Hang on.
when he got his knee replaced, he got a tattoo on the same leg of like his flesh being pulled back and like a robotic leg bone underneath.
All right.
That rules.
Oh, another thing Dad said to me at one point was like, "So what's your first sign?" I'm like, "No, Dad, it's not astrology. No one calls it that."
Hmm.
And then I was
It's not called a first sign.
and then I was reluctant, like, it's a raccoon. He's like, why is it a raccoon? I'm like, "No, Dad."
It's like, Dad, don't acknowledge this. You're making it weird.
He also said,
yes.
I
I see what
I
kind
showed
of
pictures of my persona to my mom for the first time the other day. She seemed so confused.
when
Bless her heart.
in the 90s when I was first getting into this stuff, Mom once gave me like the rhetorical talk in the car, like, now I want you to think very carefully about who you're spending your time with online and how it might be impacting you. Okay, the people, and I'm just like, this was like 96 maybe, and I was just like, I was this angry little 20-something. I was like, Mom, they're my friends. Okay, just because I've never met them in real life doesn't mean they're not my friends. And she's like, but do you really know who they are? I mean, do you really know who these people are? And I'm just...
It's really funny to me that that's how it started, and then, like, some years down the line, I'm coming to Thanksgiving at her house.
Yeah.
Because that's a thing that happened.
Your mother sounds like mine. She's saying, do you really know these people online? Are you sure you're not going to steal your credit card or anything like that?
I'm
sorry, GC. I stole your credit card. Nah. How you like that?
One of the things my mother focused on is because I showed her pictures of the first shoot from FWA, and she was being like, she's like, wow, there's so many people with those suits. How much do they cost? I'm like, oh, it's usually at least $3,000. And she's just like, what?
She'd have followed up with
she's like, I know how to sew. I could sell these kinds of things. And I'm like, I mean, maybe.
You got to be like, and everyone's required to have one. So I'm going to take out a long.
You need to have one to be in the cool kids club, at least.
Well, I mean, pretty much these days.
That dragon.
It's like being a real life basic.
Okay, Zeronian Entity. Now you remind me of a movie called Hell's Bloody Devils, a movie about Nazi bikers that is actually a spy movie with a cameo from Colonel Sanders.
Like the character, or
the real man?
I think the real person.
The real
really
Colonel
funny.
Sanders died in like the 70s, didn't he?
That doesn't mean he
Yeah.
can't cameo.
Wait, what about Colonel Sanders?
We're talking about a movie with Nazi bikers and Colonel Sanders, apparently.
And Just Boxer asks, so Jonas, how has spending time with the Roo crew and chat impacted you, just out of curiosity?
Well, I'm very talented at Twitch stuff now.
Colonel Sanders, the real guy. Yep.
No, what's funny to me? How
This
many
movie was
people don't
1970.
know-
It was a decade before he died. He died in 1980.
Okay.
It's how many people don't know that Colonel Sanders was in fact a real person.
He was not. I don't know. I don't
He was
know
not
what.
He was a
Technically
Kentucky colonel, which is an honorary title like a knighthood.
Yeah, you basically can buy the title of colonel from the state.
Yeah, I was
of
gonna say it's like
Kentucky.
those things where you like buy a square foot of land in Scotland and you're now a sir or
Viscount.
knight or whatever.
As a matter of fact, it's funny. There's a new Elvis biopic coming out next month. It's called Elvis.
Mm-hmm.
And Tom Hanks is playing Elvis's manager, who was another one of those honorary Kentucky colonels. He was called Colonel Tom Parker. And my dad is so eager to see this movie, y'all. My dad is such an Elvis fan.
That sounds very on brand. How do I load the cleaning liquid again? Because I've got stuff that is zero's not working on.
Press
up here.
E, and then in the box on the far right, you can select it.
Okay. Man, I am at close range with a zero, and this is not coming off. Hold on, I need to let me get the multi-purpose shit. This is the first time
Colonel
I've encountered
Sanders
something
real.
this-
Already was real too.
Well, Jonas, press tab. Is it dirt, or are you?
No, it is dirt. It's glowing when I tab it.
Okay.
Here, come on up here. It's the castle wall.
I'm not with you guys.
Oh, that's right. You're not.
Oh yeah, that's right. I keep
Well, if
thinking
you're
about
not with us, you're against us.
Are you?
I'm up here. How do I? Here, I'll ping. Can I ping?
And I don't think so.
Oh shit.
Place
I
isn't
don't ping, though.
that big. I see Game Cobra.
Oh no!
Actually,
I'm
here,
dropping
Rick, turn
things.
around. I'm right through the castle arch. If you turn like 180. Here, I'll spread you. Spreading you.
What hole are you at?
Are you spreading me?
Fun donuts.
Wait, are you frozen? Oh shit.
I think that means you're frozen.
I'm frozen. GC's not moving either. That's hilarious.
Yep. Now I'm looking over at Rick's
Yeah,
screen and it just says
everybody-
Reed House Pets and Game Cobra.
Yeah, everybody has been kicked off, it seems like.
That's funny.
Oh boy.
Let me leave the co-op game.
Ah,
Everybody is dead.
All right, Reed
I
House
can't
Pets.
believe
join.
everybody is dead gone.
I was like, why is this not working? I'm using like a 0 at like a few inches away. That's funny.
The dirt is stronger than iron.
I mean,
me.
I wouldn't be
The
shocked.
dirt is stronger than Ethernet.
Well, no, my connection's like ironclad, but
Why are you
can't
using
connect.
iron? You're supposed to be using fiber optic.
we're at Miller. I'm making bird noises. Cheap. Okay. I don't know.
Cheep, cheep, steep, deep, deep.
It's always so amusing to hear you do that to someone else.
As Running Entity says, at Stoker is that movie starring Elvis himself.
Is that movie starring Elvis himself? No, Elvis himself is no longer a Melvis.
Who is playing
pushing up
Elvis?
Del-
Who is playing Elvis in that movie?
It's someone kind of new. I don't really recognize.
Jared
him.
Leto.
No,
What?
you bite your tongue right now.
I can't, Jonas.
Oh. See, that would be a bad thing for Jared Leto because he's like super method acting. So you know what he would do to play Elvis?
He would
You
eat
know
a
what
bunch
actually
of
die?
peanut butter and banana sandwiches.
He would like gorge himself on like peanut butter. Yeah. Oh.
He already has a band,
Yep.
so.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean he's already basically like a cult leader. So
yes,
Okay,
the
I'm
cult
getting.
of incels.
It keeps timing out for me. I think I'm out.
I'm still here. Let me see here.
I mean, I could try and connect to GC's game, maybe.
Well, GC's also in Rick's game. It's the same thing.
Really? It shows them as separate.
No,
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah, like I was saying yesterday, it doesn't. It only shows you the list of your friends that are playing. It doesn't distinguish if multiple of your friends are in the same game.
Oh,
It simply
alright.
goes, "Oh, this friend is playing. Join their lobby. Oh, this friend is playing. Join their lobby. Oh, this friend is
Awesome.
playing. Join their lobby."
This
Yeah.
thing needs work.
Yes.
Unable to sync.
what about swimming?
Okay, apparently Steam is acting up. Hold on, let me check the status thingy.
Yeah, that happens when you force close it.
Oh.
It's in beta. The game doesn't quite work yet.
Okay, it is just all right. Hold on, I'm gonna restart. Hold on, I'm gonna restart Steam.
You do that.
Restart the Steam.
Regardless of that, that doesn't mean they get a free pass. They've released or selling an incomplete product.
All right, hold on. Let me double check this. I'm checking the Steam status board just to be sure, because usually it doesn't go this sideways on me. But apparently it did. That's awesome. Come on, you can do it, Steam. I believe in you.
I don't.
All right, I'm not seeing any downtime. Wait, no, it's all okay. There, okay, it's back now. Let me go to PowerWash Simulator. Launch, please.
Here it is. Yosh. Oh, wait.
Are we? Is it going? Okay, career mode, co-op, join Auspets. Downloading dirt. I'm in. Okay. All right.
Huzzah! Hooray!
99%.
Calais.
What's left? Let's see.
Does at least seem to be able to get 3 people in consistently. But
Oh, here, consider.
So somewhere there's like an internal wall of the castle that is dirty.
It's a dirty, dirty wall.
Yeah, I know what it did. And also some...
Yeah, it spent a night with Stoker.
Oh.
One night with Stoker, maybe.
Wow, Stoker, you're just spot on with that song, aren't you?
Thank you. I'm glad you noticed.
Oh, wait, there's a little bit of... Okay. So a tiny little speck of grime. Where is it? Oh, there's some. Hold on. Let me get that right there.
Ah.
Got the little golf flag. Good. Good.
Do it.
Kill him. I won't do it. It's not the Jedi way. Do it, you punk.
Do it.
okay.
Just do it. Do it. Do it.
Just do it.
Just do it. Palpatine for Nike.
When Palpatine gets annoyed and he realizes he can't convince Anakin anymore, he's like, "Meh, screw it."
Didn't Game Grumps do that whole bit?
Yeah.
Yes, they
sounds
did a
funny.
whole bunch of them. They did like 1 million of these. Palpatine's trying to hit on a girl, and she's like, "No, I'm not interested. You're ugly." And he's like, "Do it."
They went on with
Palpatine,
that one
what
for
should
a while. It was a really good bit.
It was an
Palpatine, what should I
extremely
do
good
with
bit.
my new OC? Tattoo it.
God, you could go on forever with this.
Oh, there's still some crap under there. Hang on, let me squat down.
Um,
That doesn't sound good, does it?
really doesn't, my good dude.
See how close.
Let me squat down and get the crap on the underside. Anyway.
God.
Driving it home.
You had the word like that, didn't you, Jonas?
Jonas.
And that was when Circa
that's-
says he's so proud of Jonas.
This game is very good for teaching you architectural vocabulary.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like I knew these things were called crenellations, but I'd forgotten about it.
You know what else is good for teaching you architectural vocabulary?
so wait, is it crenellations when they're on a wall and parapets when they're on a balcony?
I guess.
No, Miller. It's a parapet when there's 2 of them. Okay.
Now I'm proud of Jonas.
All right, where is
No,
the
but like
last-
something that's really good for teaching you architectural terminology is that McMansion Hell blog.
Those houses hurt my brain so much.
I learned a lot from reading that.
Oh God, what's the one that it was on like Zillow or whatever, and it was like this disgusting house that then had like a shipping center on the first floor?
I don't know if I saw that one.
Oh, it was terrible.
Have you all ever heard of a witch window?
Nope.
No.
Which window are you talking about?
Okay, so this is mostly like this would probably be more like GC's neck of the woods. It's not really a thing you get outside of like New England, but or maybe it is and they just don't call it that. But it's I thought these things were like mistakes, but it's when a window like a regular window is at 45 degrees. You ever seen that?
Like, it's tilted to the side, or it's tilted like back, or
Here, I'll show you. Let me get a picture of one.
Yeah, show me the picture. I probably
You probably know what I'm talking about.
probably. Sure.
Here, hold on. Let me paste it in chat. There we go. There, that's a witch window.
Actually, no, I haven't seen that.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, tilted 45 to the side.
Yeah. It's weird. I don't like it.
Well,
Is that
show
like
us.
the Winchester stairs that go to nothing to confuse spirits?
No, apparently, it's like a space saver or something like that.
That's what they want you to think. It's the window that the witch uses to get in and out of the house.
It reminds me sort of like that's another way they have an attic set up for. Yeah, it sort of reminds me of an attic.
They're also known as coffin windows, and
You're also
and occasionally
known as a
Vermont
coffin
windows.
window.
Yeah. The
Which
witch window
is
name.
coffins in Vermont. These three things go together.
Yeah. Apparently, the folk etymology is that witches can't fly their broomsticks through diagonal windows.
Sure.
I mean, have you ever seen a witch try it?
No. We should put that
You
in
ought
Penny.
to. It's hilarious.
I was about to
Oh
say,
my
you need to
gosh.
put this in Penny now, where she comes across the diagonal window, she's like, damn it. Shit.
Every time she tries, she just gets like clotheslined by the.
The idea of Penny being clotheslined in general is amusing.
No clotheslined.
Clotheslined by a dragon. Just out of
Oh,
nowhere.
there's some. Hang on, let me get that little thingy up there. Keep
Penny
Corbin.
gets no clotheslined.
Yeah.
No, clotheslined by a dragon. Just because.
Just because.
As Zeronian says, anytime I hear of weird houses, I think of the episode of Metabots where the Rubber Robo gang remodels people's houses into weird designs like a Tengu head and other things.
What? Really?
Metabot.
Nice.
Oh,
That-
that reminds me. I have a question for you, Stoker and Jonas.
Oh boy.
But besides the witchery stuff, is there any other magic in the Penny world?
Oh
Are
yes.
there
Stoker.
demons and dragons and other such fantasy tropes?
Oh yes. We are gonna have a frickin' blast with this stuff.
It
Okay.
gets really weird.
Oh. Interesting.
But yeah, this exact thing comes up. Because so far we've only shown like Penny and her family being magical.
Mhm.
But yeah, there's definitely and Tammy sort of. But
Well, no. Tammy's like,
well, Tammy's aware of it.
yeah,
Yeah.
like. Remember what I was talking to you about the other day about asking Tammy, like, "Are you a squib?" and what my idea for that was.
Yeah.
Squib?
A squib. It's a
it's a
thing
Harry
from
Potter
Harry
thing.
Potter.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I'm saying, but it's like, what? She gets stuck to your chest and explodes?
Yeah, that was the joke.
Yes.
That was the joke I wanted to tell.
Nice. But no, we're gonna have some fun with all that. It's gonna get weird.
Yeah, it's gonna get real weird. Like, this is just the tip of the iceberg, and it's so
there's
funny because this
some.
started as such a simple concept, but then I started getting into the lore of it.
Oh no, you started writing lore. Whatever have you done?
Man, let me tell you, you have no idea how deep down the
Lord
Rabbit
Train
hole.
goes.
maybe I shouldn't say rabbit hole.
The fennel, yes.
God. Okay,
There's
this
layers
thing
to this, man.
this is driving me crazy. Where is
Like
it?
an ogre?
Yes, like an
Ogre.
ogre.
Where's that?
In the world is Carmen Sandiego.
Ah, found something.
All right,
Yeah,
hold on.
it's,
Let me look at the
Jonas has
list.
been working on Runian stuff for me, and I've been trying to like write
yeah.
world building details for that.
Yeah.
To go along with it, I've also fallen into this trap of just like, oh no, world building, overcoming my sense to do anything else.
The model I worked on for Miller is the first one where I actually followed all the rules of how you're supposed to proof a 3D model before releasing it into the wild. Like finding all the N-gons and slicing them up and getting rid of as many
N-gons.
N-gons or any polygon that's over 4 sides. and those will like massively fuck up your shading. I made sure all my normals were flipped. Like, I mean, not
You
they
and
they were
normals.
not flipped. I should say they were facing outward. And I also like merged nearby vertices, and I don't know why I'm telling you all this.
Because you're proud of it. Be proud of it.
Yeah, I did it all by myself,
with
sort
no
of
help from Miller.
with a little bit of help from YouTube.
I was about to say, all by yourself and the like 50 hours of YouTube videos I watched.
Every Blender video on YouTube is by some dude with like a funny accent, like he's Austrian or you know Dutch or you know from somewhere.
Every Blender video is by some dude from somewhere.
Yeah, no, it's like now we vertices, and I'm just like, damn, you're awesome.
I thought you
We'll
were
go with
literally gonna be like,
non-Commonwealth.
damn. I thought you were literally gonna be like, damn, you're Austrian.
Damn, you're Austrian. It's weird to hear someone other than Arnold sound Austrian.
That's right. He does have the copyright on the entire concept.
Yes, just like how I have the copyright in Canadian. Yeah,
It's true. GC is the only valid Canadian.
yes. Until the stream's over, anyway.
He came to visit Canada and he realized nobody had filed a copyright for Canadian, and so he's just like, oh, okay, I guess I'll do that.
And the Prime Minister was like, shit, he's got us.
As a Twitch has got him. We're in trouble now.
I am at a loss. Let me look at the chart again. Clean the mini, of course.
I still think it's funny that I don't talk about Canada at home, but of course, if we're working out in Canada.
Of course, you're not going to talk about Canada at home.
It would be weird to be like, boy, it sure is great to live in this country that we live in, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I do find some Americans do that, and they are also very annoying. But
Speaking of which, happy day. Oh, wonderful happy day. Tumblr has met Quincy Morris.
Who's... Oh, right. I'm like.
yeah, there's a Tumblr blog that is slowly publishing Dracula for everybody to read.
It's not a Tumblr blog. It's a Substack. It's an email list.
Okay.
And but the thing is, like people are talking about this on Reddit, on Twitter, on Facebook, I'm sure, but Tumblr is the site where they're losing their shit over this book.
Oh, they're going to fill one slur for it.
Because they're all realizing that even though Dracula is such a well-known name in popular culture, and everyone's like, yeah, Dracula is the vampire, almost none of them know what actually happens in the book. Because, like, there are over 100,000 people that are subscribed to this email list. And most of them have never read it before, and then you get a few outlying weirdos like me who have read it well in excess of a dozen times. And
how much fun they're gonna have to learn there's a stupid three-way romance thing going on.
I mean, listen, first of all, how dare you call this stupid? How dare you call my Victorian polyamory representation stupid? Second of all...
It basically does feel like polyamory via veiled...
blood transfusions?
Yeah, I mean... it's veiled in the way that you have to basically just have all these characters be suitors to the same lady.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god, now it's right. I don't even know what this movie is from, but I've seen somebody use it as a reaction image where it's this lady and two guys. She kisses her husband or whatever, and then kisses the other guy, and then turns to the camera and flips the finger, and then behind her the two guys are kissing each other.
We should so do that with Penny and Artemis and Tammy. Yeah, I've seen a few takeoffs on that. I really liked AC's version of it.
Stokes, we're gonna have a vampire character at some point, right?
Yes, of course. Are you kidding? Who do you
Okay.
think you're talking to?
It's gonna be Baby Stoker in the same style as Baby Jonas.
No, it's going to be the
jeez.
clown. The clown's also a vampire.
No.
I still
Who told Rick
kind
about the clown?
My balloons are full of blood.
Who told Rick about the clown?
Oh, do not want.
I think I told you this, guys, but Japan finds it weird that Americans and Canadians are scared of clowns.
I remember there was this thing where I forget who it was.
Oh,
It
here
was
it is.
someone at Nintendo, I think. They were told about a clown costume skin for a character in one of the games, and they're like, "Yeah, Americans think this is creepy." And he's like, "Why do they think it's creepy?" He's like, "Americans think clowns are creepy." And he's like, "I learned a weakness of Americans today."
Yes. He's like, I found the American weakness. It's clowns. For some reason, they really hate clowns.
Well, I have a theory about that. Do any other countries have birthday clowns?
I don't know.
No,
I never looked into it.
I don't think they do.
Because I think birthday clowns are like one of the main sources of clown-related trauma in North America.
Most likely.
Clown-related trauma, aka clama.
You know,
I was clowmatized.
I was never afraid of clowns as
I
a
was
kid.
clownmatized.
I mean, clowns were just sort of obnoxious to me. Mascots freaked me out because their faces were fixed.
And
You know?
now look where you are.
And Ray is saying we also have a lot of clown-related horror stories here. Yes, because
That's true.
there's
Yeah, but
it,
it's the
and also, the real life John Wayne Gacy.
Yeah,
Oh,
but I would say the
yeah.
clown horror stories are an effect of the clown fear, not a cause of it.
Oh,
yeah, exactly.
Well, it also I think it created like a feedback loop there, definitely.
Exactly.
oh,
But yes, I believe the birthday clowns were almost certainly the impetus,
Impetus.
oh, there you go. Good.
the inciting incident, the
All right.
inciting clown.
I can't.
Inciting clown.
Yeah.
You inciting clown sounds like such a cutting thing to say to someone.
All right.
Eh.
I cannot for the life of me find the last grime.
Keep
doesn't
looking.
exist.
It's there.
Oh, it's no,
It's
it's
all-
hiding.
no. There's a bunch of it, but I mean, like, I can't. Okay, like third hole sign. Where's that? Where's the third hole?
Oh, I got
That's
it.
a
checklist you're
question
looking
people
through?
have asked
Oh, yeah,
themselves
there's-
for ages.
I gotta find 8 sleepy stones. Let's see here.
So third hole checklist is the one that has the dragon on it.
Oh, hold on.
Like you can literally just go through the holes and they have little signs next to them that say what hole they are.
All right. Oh,
Cave.
This
sleepy
is such
stone.
that's
a
good, yeah.
conversation that y'all are having.
It's a mini golf course.
You're
Stoker,
a mini golf
calm
course.
yourself.
Where's the cave
No,
at?
I considered it, and no.
There we go.
you know,
Oh.
I always felt that mini golf was the kind of thing where you need to be like beer level south, like have a couple beers for it to be fun. Because,
If you're
When I
over
was-
20, yes.
well, yes, obviously, but
I didn't really
responsibly. But
I remember I used to.
go ahead, Easy.
I remember how I used to go to golf course, mini golf course all the time. Oh, but they weren't this fancy.
It's not just golf in miniature.
There was one near where my dad lived, where like everything there was no grass, no actual material. Everything was just like different colors of like I don't know what it was, sort of like not AstroTurf. Actually, yeah, I guess AstroTurf, different colors of AstroTurf. And as a kid, I took it deadly seriously because I'd never played I never played grown up golf, but I'd seen it on TV. And I thought this is like that, but for kids, and they're very serious when they play.
You have to be
grown-up golf.
completely silent.
Yeah. And I got really upset that I was like, I was scoring so badly. And my dad didn't understand why I wasn't having fun. He's like, but what's the problem? You're doing great. You know,
No,
it's
see,
just
the
like,
great thing about mini golf is if a kid doesn't know all the rules of golf, You tell them they get a point for every time they have to hit the ball, and then by the end they're like, "Oh, I've got 100 points," and you're just like, "Great job."
No, I knew I was doing badly. And I remember thinking, like, oh, I wish they'd just stop the windmill for a minute. That'd be so nice. You know, like, yeah.
Well, that's what the Frankenstein monster also thought.
The problem with mini golf is that most mini golf courses suck.
Yeah.
Pretty straightforward.
You have like an
Yeah,
opportunity here to get really outlandish, and most of them barely try.
There's the is it Kiss themed one in Vegas?
We should play golf with friends.
I've been considering.
We should play
that,
golf
but
with enemies.
Everybody would need to get a copy of that. I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, if you need something that's, like, low-key, like, as low-key as this, then, you know, that's probably a pretty good possibility.
I've seen the modded courses in that game. They get very silly.
Wait, is that? Oh, no, never mind. That's not grime. That's just water.
Water.
Oh, I hate this thing. If I click on the list, that highlights the crap, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe if the list wasn't so freaking big.
Well, Jonas, maybe if you're doing it.
Yeah.
Well
No.
put, Miller.
I like had an idea of what to say, and I was just like, oh, wait, no, but that would be insulting. No. I don't want to insult him. He's my friend.
Yeah, Miller. I've
Why
got
not? I insult him all the time.
God.
Yes, that's different, though. You guys have the
got that
roommate
special-
romantic relationship.
Whoa!
Romantic.
Romantic.
No,
And they
that's
were
what Rick
roommates.
has with Kari.
Oh my god, they were roommates.
Or, you know, I need some caffeine. Hang on.
This light.
All right, there we go. Yeah. We should play Amogus.
Sasasamugus.
Can't even say the name of that game correctly anymore. It's
Amogus.
just not as fun as messing it up so terribly.
No, I was watching Smealy play it, and I thought, man, kind of missed that.
I haven't tried the other maps on that yet. We gotta try that sometime.
Yeah. There's like there are ones that we never. There's some like the planet base or whatever. We never tried that.
I bet the first map is my favorite still, but I mean the airship, for example. I haven't even touched that yet.
Didn't we do the airship?
There's an
I feel like
airship.
We did the airship once.
Yeah,
I don't think we did.
I feel like we did though.
I remember doing it once, and I don't think I've played Among Us with any other group.
No, I don't think we did, but okay.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like I remember that.
I know we were looking up we were looking up the size of it, and we were like, oh, that's big. That's a big map.
You know what else is a big map?
What's that?
What?
Satisfactory.
Yeah.
Jonas is just pining for it.
It's like Breath of the Wild. It feels like a place where we took a vacation to. A very violent vacation. But
A vacation.
a vacation, yeah.
I mean, it's not really a good vacation if there's not a little violence.
True. That's true. He's right.
Like how I
have a week-
remember going to Mexico with my family on a cruise, and we rented scooters for a day, in order to like go around and visit all these different places. And in less than an hour, my mother ran it directly into a wall and destroyed one of the handlebars.
Wow. Did she get in trouble? Like, did they,
They had to pay for it, yeah.
All right. Let's see that battle.
Good noise there, Jonas.
Ooh. 7th hole flag clean. Nice.
Drifter Clubs, what the hell are you saying?
Hole is hole.
Enjoy it all.
All right, sure. Fine. Oh, are we talking about, like, we talking about orientation over there? God.
Freshman orientation.
Yeah, like thinking of things to say and being just like, no, that's going over a line.
Yeah.
Oh man. What do you guys still have left that you can't seem to find?
Okay, here's what it says
There's
on the
like a list of still like a dozen things that we haven't cleaned yet.
Yeah, we're getting them bit by bit. But we've got exit steps, a couple the border flag and flooring on the 5th hole. Oh, that's where to focus.
9th hole flag.
The small forest mushrooms,
Those are in the first hole.
the golf ball return supports, the 9th hole drawbridge.
What? Did I get that one? Ninth hole drawbridge. I got that one.
Says it's 99%.
That's what you just got, yes.
That one's clean.
Why does it say 90? Oh, hold on, let me update. Okay, yeah, fine.
Oh, that's annoying. You're just looking at like a snapshot, so if people are working in the background, it doesn't update.
Yeah. 9th hole small borders and flooring. 2nd hole flag. 2nd hole houses. 6th hole flag. 6th hole ramp. And the 3rd hole sign.
I'm just holding on to the ladder.
Don't look at me.
Wait a minute. Ah, jeez, it's still doing it. Right
What
back.
are the numbers?
It keeps thinking I got the ladder. I gotta log out.
Oh, okay. Start. So hole. Oh,
Sounds
there's
like
the numbers.
this thing's been bugging a little bit tonight.
Yeah. 2, 3. Okay. Here I am at hole 3.
Reconnecting.
I can see
Good
Rick
luck.
numbers.
That.
3rd hole sign.
Let's see what's up with that.
Is there grime on the freaking sign somewhere?
Third hole sign, it might be the little thing in front of the hole that says 3 on it.
Oh, I thought it was the post.
Full ramp.
Alright, let's see.
Okay, now we finally down to the last couple things.
Oh, I should pull it.
Second hole flag.
I
Missing the
finished exit.
flags.
I finished exit steps. I will tell you that one is a bitch. Got so many little nooks and crannies,
And whole house
Nooks
is
and
on.
crannies.
right under steps and stuff.
And the exit steps.
Did I get it? Tell me I
exit-
got it.
Exit steps. There it goes.
Hooray!
Cling, 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 cling.
Gotta rejoin the game. Hold on.
Well, now there's nothing to rejoin.
Oh, you got it?
They finished Sun's Game Cobra.
Ah.
Wait,
Sad.
we got it?
Yes.
It still says 99 for me.
Well, guess you didn't download all the dirt.
Well, I can still see them moving. Oh, it's probably... Fed was talking about lag. All right, well, whatever. We did it. We did it, right? We're good?
Yes.
Okay, I'm done.
15 minutes to midnight.
Yeah, about 50 minutes.
More or less.
I don't know. What do you guys want to do?
Same thing we
Yeah,
do
taking a
every
while
night,
for-
Binky.
You don't have to load the level, you know. PowerWash Simulator. Yep. Have to load the level. Pressing escape.
May I suggest an Alt F4, sir?
Alt F4, sir.